All right, so let's talk about the soul. It's been said that in 10 years, once we have our brains into computers, you know, people say the soul and the religion is what makes you, what makes you individually. Everybody's different. Um, so does that mean like if people are born, people say we're born with gifts like, um, like a genius or the best basketball player or have an ear to play music or learn piano quicker or just I don't think it's that. I think it's not a soul. That's genetic traits passed down from your family. Um, like I said, I think early on before we were we when we're just cells or whatever. Um, I think, and this is when I talk about the randomness and non-randomness coming together, creating structure, and giving us the genes. Um, I don't think there's a soul. I don't think there's a specific um, uh, uh, deed like this person was born. I see people say, you're born to play basketball. You're born to. I just don't think it's that. Um, I just because in reality, if it was that, that means there would be some kind of deity, and then there would be a supernatural realm. So I don't think it's that. So I don't think a soul can exist. And the good thing is, we can test this supernatural concept finally by uploading our brain into computers, right? And people say if we do that, then that leaves a soul in the body, you know, which I don't think exists. But if it did exist, then maybe, but still a long step for a deity. I mean, I don't think it's a deity. I think it's like advanced aliens, species like that gave us um, traits and characteristics of randomness and non-randomness. Think about it. If we were all born special, why would there be people born with crazy abnormalities, syndromes, whether in the brain or in the body, or have born with cancer babies or born with virus and disease? So, I don't think there's a soul and I don't think there's a God because it's just a natural realm and it's um it's kind of sad there's no Superman, super God or something. Um, but then again, it's actually good that we have no masters. No masters, no gods. We are in control of our destiny because if we were like Dan Barker said, you know, uh, uh, a god's a master, we would be second. You know, we would be second. So it's good that we have our own individuality. So no gods, no masters. We control our own destiny, which is good because why would you want to be second? But that being said, if there's aliens out there, well, we kind of are second because they're the leaders in super technology and they could make us slaves, I guess, if they wanted to. So, in that sense, I guess we're all second. But it's good there's not a God because at least, no gods of the religion because that's just fucked up God. uh, if there was a god, the only kind of god I would like would be like a Superman. I don't know if you consider Superman a god, like it's just coming to save the day. Boom, that would be like a god. Like a Superman, just or if it was like a super alien, that could just make everything perfect and just come to save the day. So that doesn't exist. So now we can test the supernatural in 10 years once we upload our brain into a computer. And the religious people think it's all that's left is the soul, right? Because that's what makes everybody individually according to them. So that could be the way to test it. But it's going to turn out to be there's no soul. There's no individual who makes up you. Because if there was, there wouldn't be evolution, twists and turns of evolution, of randomness and non-randomness, mutation and virus and bacteria. Think about it. If there was like a soul, it's just traits. Technically it's an accident. Nobody's predetermined. People say you're born bad. Oh, God works in mysterious ways, or it's God's reasons. No, it's just randomness. It's some non-randomness and randomness. It's cruel to think like that, but that's the reality of living in a world with no God. It's violent. You got bacteria, virus, a disease. You got evolution, twists and turns, and people born with totally fucked up abnormalities. It's kind of just an accident. It's kind of just a toss of the dice. It really is. I think that's why we exist. And like Lawrence Krauss said, it's an accident. And whether we're the only species, call it luck, I guess. Who knows? That's that's the reality of a universe with no God. And you shouldn't feel depressed. You should be emboldened, because number one, you're not second to nobody. You're not second to a God. You are in control of your destiny. And as bad it is, one day we can eradicate all virus and disease. So all those abnormalities that people were born with, fucked up abnormalities, fucked up virus and disease, that'll be fucking gone. So if we are the first in a very complex DNA, and what we're doing is we're decoding the information. Now it's getting really, really exciting. This is like going into the realm of where people are scared to go, because if you're going inside the DNA, because people think God made DNA. If you're going inside the DNA and analyzing that sucker, it's immaculate. We're talking about xenobytes. So if you want super technology, it's in our body. It's DNA. How it got there, that's the other mystery. I think it has to do, aliens had to play some role in us somehow. Because it's so complex. And even as much as complex the DNA is, and if it evolved without any help, maybe it's through unknown technology, unknown stuff that we just don't know yet. So it's going to be very interesting, going inside the DNA. Going inside of it, This is where people are scared to go, and this is where science is going, because science, we have no fear. When we want to explain it fucking all. So decoding the DNA. And yeah, it's if it's a code, maybe the universe is a computer. Maybe it's a machine. Maybe it's a machine or computer that somebody developed and running simulations. And so this is where it's getting fucking really, really interesting. Stay tuned for years to come, because it's gonna be about really fucking interesting. And religious people are gonna go nuts, because we're peeking, we're decoding the brain, we're decoding the DNA. Yeah, you can't stop science. You really can't. We're just gonna keep on going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And once we decode the DNA, I bet we can make humans. We could probably make fucking superhumans. Humans and superhumans and fucking other life forms. And yes, they will have the capacity, just like us, even more superior than us. You think we're, and then when that comes out, because people think God made us, the most perfect, the most sophisticated, but once we're outdone by another species that we either made even more complex with our own DNA and finding DNA and creating it, it's just going to be amazing. Yeah. Just imagine like 50 years from now, holy shit. We're already decoding the DNA. We're decoding the fucking brain and shit. Consciousness. 50 years from now? Damn, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. But super advanced. I mean, probably going to live in space and fucking traveling warp drives and cosmos and wormholes. But just think about it just now. Just imagine like fucking 5 years from now. Even 5 years from now, it's going to blow up big. And then when it turns out that with our own DNA, we can create DNA, make DNA, just like, it's gonna outdo it. It's gonna outdo us. It's gonna have consciousness. It's gonna have everything we can have and more. It's gonna be superior. So yeah. Listen, folks. If you're scared about that there's no God and you want to believe, there's a great book. It's called Value and Virtue in a Godless Universe. Read that book. You're going to feel much better. And because it is a godless universe. But read that book because you can understand how much to appreciate living not knowing there's a God. Because there is no God. And once you read that book, Value and Virtue in a Godless Universe, you will be very happy and you'll understand and you'll be depressed. You'll be happy. So it's called Value and Virtue in a Godless Universe. Peace out, everybody.